he who is faithful with little will be faithful with much. If we want to have more, then with whatever we have, we need to give our best, we need to give our all, we need to put our heart into it, even if it's not what we have dreamt of, even if it's not something that it excites you. And nandyan ka na ngayon eh. But of course, there will also be a time and season that you will transition as well. But wherever you are now, whether you are working from home, you are working somewhere, or you are stopped working, or at least whatever's given to you, I hope that we will love what we do. That regardless of what kind of work, there is dignity in that work. Whether if that person is working as a director, a CEO, a business person, or if that person is mopping the floors or cleaning something, pare-pareho lang yan, may dignity. And I want to emphasize that because sometimes yung tingin natin, ay, parang ang galing ko na, I have arrived. Kasi eto na yung position ko eh. And sometimes what we see, tinitingnan natin yung mga ibang tao, feeling natin maliit eh. I hope that we should not be that people. I hope that we would be people who would say to them na pare-pareho tayo, may dignidad sa trabaho. And if you are that person, sometimes, maybe you are embarrassed with what you do because of the type of work that you have, or maybe because feeling mo meager lang yung nakukuha mong sweldo. Do not be embarrassed by it. May dignity sa ginagawa mo because especially assuming naman na hindi illegal yan, no, there's dignity in what you do. So whatever work, and I want to pound this, we need to put it to heart that kahit anong trabaho, may dignidad yan, pare-parehong valuable yan. Welcome again, everyone. Happy Labor Day, and it is a holiday, although maybe hindi natin sobrang ramdam kasi long weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday is a holiday, but we are still at home. But still we can celebrate this holiday of Labor Day. And the reason we are celebrating Labor Day is to celebrate our workforce, is to celebrate people who are working, whether in the front lines, in the back lines, in the mid lines. Thank you so much sa lahat ng manggagawa, sa lahat ng mga nagtatrabaho. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for holding the economy. Thank you for serving. Maraming salamat. Salamat sa pag-comment ninyo kanina kasi the question that we asked earlier, what was your dream job growing up? And I'm happy for people, at least yung sinabi nila that they will be a visual artist, that they are living the dream. Parang si Michelle, living the dream. We're happy for them. People who dreamt of ito yung magiging work ko, business ko, job ko, and now, as they are being professionals, as they are moving on in life, nagagawa nila yung dream nila. But for the most part, majority of those who answered ito yung mga dream job nila, either maging basketball player, musician, artist, pilot, majority, it's not what they are doing now. And there's nothing wrong with that if you are not walking at least in the dreams that you have or had when you were younger. Walang problema yan. And maybe the reason why we are not living the dream, or at least the dream that we had when we were younger, probably because nag-iba na yung preference natin, nag-iba na yung gusto natin. Maybe because the dreams that we wanted before, those were the influences by the people around us. I remember I asked my mom what are also the things that I wanted to do when I was younger. My mom said magtataho. And kasi siguro sobrang hilig ko sa taho before, mahilig ako sa taong nagbebenta ng taho kasi 'di ba sisigaw yan, taho! Taho! Gagayan yan. So maybe I was fascinated by it, kaya gusto ko maging magtataho. So just the same thing, whatever we dreamt before, probably because of the exposures that we are having now, the impartations from people, the learnings, we realize na baka hindi talaga ito yung dream para sa akin. Or maybe those are still the dreams that we want, but because of the practical needs, or maybe we want to provide food for the family, to pay the bills, to put food on the table, as much as we want to practice that dream, hindi natin ma-practice as of the moment kasi we need to be responsible. Kaya we are doing another job, we are doing another hustle para kumita at hindi magawa yung dream, and nothing wrong with that, but what's important is whether you are living the dream or not living the dream, you are doing another work, walang problema yan, because work is work. Work is work, and work is a blessing. Tandaan natin yan. Work is work. work is a blessing. And my question for all of us, how can I get the most out of my work? How can I get the most out of my work? And that's our rooftop reflection. So, how can I get the most out of my work? So, ngayon, since this is a Labor Day special, May 1, it's good to get a good grasp of ano ba yung Labor Day or saan nag-originate. So, since we are now celebrating this Rooftop Reflections Labor Day special, it's good to understand ano ba yung context nitong Labor Day. And in the Philippines, we are celebrating it every May 1. But internationally, in different parts of the globe, it's called International Workers' Day. Or to some, it can also be May Day. So, yun nga. So, different parts of the world, they are also celebrating Labor Day or International Workers' Day or May Day. But in some countries, they are not celebrating it ng May 1. To some countries like the US, Canada, it's the first Monday of September. So, to get a good grasp of it, etong Labor Day, it started because before, like in the 1800s, nagkakaroon ng mga practices sa mga work that it's not safe for the work people, super long hours, working in not good working conditions. It's also leading to death. That's why because of that practices, the working force nagkaroon ng parang growing sentiment to voice out their concern na dapat safe yung working condition. Hence, nagkaroon ng mga rally, protest, then nagkaroon ng Labor Day. And in the Philippines, yung Labor Day natin, it officially started noong 1913 when the Labor of Congress convened it. So, ngayon it's 2010, so that's roughly 107 years. So, happy 107 years of Labor Day in the Philippines, celebrating the workforce of the Philippines, appreciating them, having a better welfare and livelihood for them. So, congratulations, 107 years na tayo of doing ating pag-celebrate sa mga workforce. So, since we're talking about work, and there's so much to talk about work. I mean, it's just so broad. We can talk about productivity in work. We can also talk about the why of work. There's so much to talk about work. But I have something special for all the roofers. And it's not the typical of what I mentioned. I made a framework for all of us. But before we start that, I'd like to give you some data about work. And since majority of us are working, yung interesting in terms of work, Business Insider, there's an article. It says that as humans, as people, over 90,000 plus hours of working hours that we will spend our whole lifetime in just working. So, 90,000 hours of working for the rest of our lives. So, that's so much work. So, kung ganun katagal, if that's so much chunk in our living life, then we need to at least maximize it. We need to enjoy it. So, knowing na 90,000 plus hours of work, edi dapat we need to make the most out of it. So much time or chunk of our lives dedicated to work. So we might as well make the most out of it. We might as well enjoy it. So I made an acrostic for all of us. And since it's Labor Day special, our acrostic will be labor. L-A-B-O-R. Labor. So again, the question is, and for our rooftop reflections, how can I get the most out of my work? So Lian, exactly what I need to hear right now. So I hope you take some notes as well. You can tag your friends. You can, and I hope that you can learn something from this as well. So since this is a Rooftop Reflections exclusive, so simulan na natin. Letter L, since our acrostic is labor, letter L is love what you do. Love what you do. So whether we are in our work that it's aligned to our strength, to our theme, to our competence or not, or we are living the dream or not, we must love what we do. Of course, it's good that we are doing what we love, but most of the time, hindi. So, paano na? So, regardless of the type of work, regardless of what department, regardless of who our boss is, we need to love our work. That's important. And per letter will be having a subpoint. So sa love what you do, first is first subpoint for letter L is love the grind. We need to love the grind. We need to love the process. We need to love the journey, because all of us, we want greatness. We want great things, but we don't want the grind. We don't want the process of allowing ourselves to be better or going into the process. So we need to embrace the grind. Of course, it's not going to be easy, but we need to be diligent. We need to be faithful. And we need to understand this, that as we are being faithful, I remember, he who is faithful with little will be faithful with much. If we want to have more, then with whatever we have, we need to give our best. We need to give our all. We need to put our heart into it, even if it's not what we have dreamt of, even if it's not something that it excites you. And nandyan ka na ngayon eh. But of course, there will also be a time and season that you will transition as well. But wherever you are now, whether you are working from home, you are working somewhere, or you are stopped working, or at least whatever's given to you, I hope that we will love what we do. So as we love what we do, we put our heart into it. The next subpoint in letter L is to love the learning. We need to love the learning, because in the industry, sobrang fast pace of developments in technology, in IT, you need to just really constantly level up. Yung sa Agile, yung sa Oracle, yung sa SAP, kailangan up to date. And in the learnings, that even if you are not in the IT field, there is so much to learn, because we need to love what we do, but at the same time, loving the grind and also loving to learn, because we don't want just to be petex lang. We don't want just to be so-so lang. We want to be faithful. We want to be diligent. We want to be a good steward. That's why we need to learn. We need to be on the top of our game. We need to learn not just our products, not just our companies, not just the values, but we need to also learn the competition, survey the landscape. So we need to embrace that there will always be a constant learning. So love the learning, so that we can not just be more prepared when there will be challenges, but also we can also foresight whatever changes may be. At least ready yung skills, ready yung competence. But at the same time, if we will be in a different department, change of department, then definitely there is so much to learn, and we need to embrace the learning. So the third subpoint in letter L is to love the people. Love the people. And if you are, especially you are a boss, supervisor, a manager, I hope that when you see your team, you see your people, I hope it's not just you see the numbers, that there will be people who will drive the growth, who will bring the sales, who will bring the revenue. I hope that as you see your people, it's not just because they can help hit the objectives, the KRAs, the BHAGs, the things that you have set, but I hope that you will love them for who they are, not just because that what they can bring. And especially in this enhanced community quarantine, some people are lonely now, some people are still adjusting, maybe some are depressed. I hope that as boss, supervisor, you can be more than a boss in the work. You can also be a friend. Please love them. And ano lang naman yan eh, one way of loving the people is to believe in them, is to correct them, is to develop them, is to let them know that you care. And as people, diba, we need to love our team. It's not just about work, but also loving, because ganyan tayo eh. We need to overflow the love that we are having from God. So kumbaga, I hope that it would overflow as well. Because, diba, if you love the people, eventually they will love you back eh. Again, we will not love the people so that they can do what they can do, but we will love them because we want to love them, because it's the right thing to do, is to care for them, to help them, to believe in them, to develop them, to point to them that there's greatness in them, that we should love them. And eventually people will mararamdaman nila that the boss cares for them. So eventually, when the time comes when we need help, kumbaga, they will rally with us. Kahit holiday, papasok yan to help us to finish that email, to finish that document. Mararamdaman ng mga tao that they are loved. So again, that's one of the things in loving what we do. We need to love the grind, embrace the process, also love the learning. We need to constantly level up, but at the same time, we need to love the people, because it's not just about the processes, not just about the systems, but it's really loving the people. May kilala ba kayo na maybe boss or colleague, iba magmahal nung ng ka-team niya, nagdadala siya ng food every time, or maybe pag busy season, extended siya, nagpapa-deliver ng pizza, or yung typical nagpapa-deliver ng Ambers or whatever, yung chicken or palabok. So who are those people? Matag nyo sila so that we can appreciate them. So Zansu, how to love your boss. Yes, again, we will love our boss or whoever people is because it's better than not loving them kesa neutral lang tayo or hating them. Kasi when we love, we don't expect them anything. We just want the best for them. We just want to help them in any way that we can. And eventually, kung hindi sila mag-reciprocate, okay lang. At least in whatever we have, we gave our best, we helped them. Kung paano mahalin, by the grace of God, pwede mo yung mahalin. And maybe naman yan natutunan naman yung mga taong mahalin. Eventually, matututunan mo rin yan. So, wow, AM Kadyang, as a university professor, teacher, you bake for your students. I am happy for you. So, that's the first letter. Love what you do. So again, we're not always in an ideal position that we are doing what we love, but whatever thing that we do, whether it's not our competence, whether it's not aligned to our theme or our skill, just love what we do. Kasi we need to remember, hindi naman forever we will be doing that. So enjoy the season, maximize the season, bigay mo na lahat. So that's letter L. So that's love what you do. So letter A, as we continue with the letter, adapt to changes. Adapt to changes. And we always hear this. One of the constant thing in this world is what? Diba? Is change. And especially now, we are in a global pandemic, enhanced community quarantine. Diba? Grabe yung mga changes. And then people who are not ready with online services, diba? It's somehow sapping in the business. So we really need to adapt to changes. Yes, we know that nothing constant in this world, but it's really changed. And our subpoint, may tatlong subpoint tayo for letter A, is to adapt to a new challenge. So we should not be content with our successes because sometimes we get too complacent because of our previous victories, because of our past successes, and we think, why change if it ain't broke? And the thing with that, if we do not innovate, we don't constantly push ourselves to be better, eventually there will be a new market or a new player in the market. Eventually, boom, kuha na yung market share. So we need to always adapt to a new challenge. We should not be content with previous successes because success can be intoxicating as well. But to continuously push the bound, we should not be content with the status quo, but let's continue to always to adapt to a new challenge. So letter B for the subpoint of adapt to changes is to adapt to a new work environment. And ramdam natin yan, adapt to a new work environment. Now, because of this enhanced community quarantine, we are at home. So we are not in our offices. We can't do what we are used to be doing. Yung katabi lang natin, office mate natin, so wala na, iba na yung setup na. So we need to adapt to it as well. And congratulations to everyone, especially as you have learned to work online, to learn work from home. For those of you who learned the Zoom technology, congratulations, you are a legit Zombie. So at least, diba, we can do meetings, we can share data, and very seamless. So congratulations for learning that. We need to adapt to a new work environment. Especially now we are in a work environment. There are some people who are still constantly working, that you are work from home, but there are people maybe because the set of their work, it is no work, no pay, and now they are at home and our hearts go out to them because syempre, they can't work, money is not flowing in. Maybe this is also a situation where they can think, okay, my previous work setup, work environment where I'm going out and getting source of income, it's not working. Maybe this is a time for us to pivot because it's a new working environment now. We should not wait for this ECQ to be GCQ. Maybe this is the time wherein we can already explore other possibilities wherein we can adapt to work. Maybe if you are used to working outside out of your home, maybe this is a time wherein you can adapt, that you can learn to work online. Source of other means. So again, it's good that we need to adjust because of a new work environment. Umiiba-iba yan. Especially, kunwari, iba pa yung wifi, hindi malakas yung wifi. So, di ba, additional challenge yan. But still, we need to adapt to new work challenges and new work environment. And the last one for the last sub point for A is to adapt to a new leadership style or adapt to a new boss. Kasi 'di ba, most of the time based on studies to, the very reason or major reasons why people resign in their work is not because of the money, it's not because of the things that they're doing, it's not because of their colleagues, but a very big chunk of people why they are resigning is because of their boss. Totoo ba yun? Did you experience that? If you are that person, resign ka na, wag ka muna mag-resign. Pag-usapan natin yan, message me. So, di ba, ano yun make or break yung mga boss natin on how they lead us, on how they help us, on how they inspire us. Iba-iba yan eh. So, we should learn to adapt to different styles ng mga boss. Yung iba old school, yung iba very empowering, yung iba very micromanaging. So, what's important as we adapt to those leadership styles, kung ako, my suggestion is we have honest conversations. Diretso na natin si boss natin na, boss, thank you for what you're doing. Or maybe kung si boss, hindi siya clear sa kanyang goals, then ikaw na mag-probe, ikaw na magtanong para lumabas yung clarity of what you want to accomplish. So, yes, we might be used to a certain leadership style of our previous boss that we so love and biglang nag-early retirement si boss or biglang nag-shift and iba na yung boss, iba yung style. So we need to also adapt to that leadership style, okay? So kung may mga boss ka dyan, tag nyo sila, especially kung love na love nyo sila, tag nyo sila. Let's honor them. So that's letter A, adapt to changes. So adapt to new challenges, adapt to new working conditions, adapt to new leadership styles. So that's A. So now, let's go to letter B. So ano ba yung B? Is to be grateful. Be grateful. And again, we have 3 subpoints. So thank you, Jonathan Hugo. Make you bitter or better, you choose. So, Kat Daluson, don't be afraid to give constructive feedback. So, it's important to be honest, but also there is a timing. Hindi yung parang, boss, ano ba? Ang labo mo naman eh. Ba't di mo ina-approve yung VL ko? I mean, there's a timing, there is a way. Sana wag ka magalit or maybe libre mo ng lunch si boss. So, I mean, tao rin naman yan si boss eh. May puso rin naman yan eventually. I'm sure may puso yan. Because we have work and we need to be grateful. Ang unang subpoint natin is be grateful for the work that you have. I mean, we so appreciate that even at this time that we have work. Let's be grateful that we still have work. There are a lot of people who doesn't have work and syempre our heart grieves for them. Kumbaga sana magkaroon rin sila ng work, sana magkaroon ng livelihood, but for people or if you're watching and you have work, please be grateful, please be thankful that you have work, especially at this time in this enhanced community quarantine where it's really a challenge now. Please be grateful with your work. Even if you don't love your work, you don't love your boss, but please be grateful that you have work. Because ito I remember like last week there was a news in the States, last week pa to, April 23, because of this COVID incident. So Americans, 26 million Americans in the span of 5 weeks of this COVID, they registered themselves as no work. So 26 million Americans lost their job in the span of 5 weeks because of this COVID. So what I'm saying is, we need to be grateful. Even if you are not happy with what you're doing with your boss or maybe with your pay, work is a blessing. And yung sa blessing na yan and sa season na yan, there will be so much you can get from it. I hope that when we work, I think this is also another video in itself. When we work, it's not just we are forcing ourselves, dragging ourselves lagi just to provide. Okay, that's also part of it, but I hope that when we work, it makes us alive. It has purpose, it has meaning. And that's a different video in itself. Let's just focus. Be pa rin tayo, be grateful. So the first subpoint for be grateful is be grateful for the work that you have. And then because we have our work, subpoint for B, second subpoint is be grateful for the provision that you have. Because imagine you're working and you're getting money from it. You're getting salary, you're getting the wage, and it's helping you to provide for your families. It's helping you to provide and put food on the table. Of course, it's also a different discussion if you're not happy with your pay. Pero the very fact that you have work and you have provision, okay na yun. Blessing na yun in itself, because we need to understand work is not always about the money. Yes, there's a possibility that we took that work because of the money, but I hope that we will not see work just only to have money. We need to understand that we are blessed because yes, we have work and we also have provision. And bonus na rin is if we are doing the things that we love, we are passionate, tapos binabayaran ka. So, blessing na blessing talaga yun. But again, we are not always in that position that we can do the things that we love and we are paid for it. Continue to tag your friends, continue to invite them, share this video, like, share, and subscribe. That's the second subpoint of be grateful. So the first subpoint of be grateful is be grateful for the work that you have. Second subpoint is be grateful for the provision. And ito, the third subpoint for be grateful is be grateful for the experiences that you will have. Whether you have a good boss or a bad boss. Whether you have a good pay or not good pay. Whether the work is not good or not good. Let's be grateful because you have those experiences. Because those experiences, it will enable you to grow. It will enable you to sharpen that gifting, that competence, that talent, that character. And again, like what I've mentioned, work is not just about money. It's also allowing you to be the person you will be. So, cherish those moments, whether in the good, in the bad, whether in times of pain, whether in times of just doing the grind. Be grateful for that experience because that experience would be the preparation for your next season in your next journey. So just be faithful, continuously do the grind, continuously giving your all, and be grateful for that experience. Be grateful that it happened. Be grateful that yung boss mo last minute humihingi ng deadline na mga, may ganun ba kayo na last minute biglang may hinihinging mga deliverables na parang hirap naman gawin yun, pero eventually you did the grind, you persevered, and it allowed you to think on your feet, to discard na sobrang bilis, and ngayon ikaw yung magaling, and ngayon ikaw yung competent, and ngayon amidst everyone, it allowed you to grow, it allowed you to be resilient, it allowed you para maging makapal yung skin, it allowed you to grow better. So be grateful for the experiences that you have. In transition time, in times of you change department, in whatever boss, in whatever system, in whatever project, let's be grateful. Tama, AM Kadyang, our job also shapes us. It helps us. Zane, reminding myself always that there will be challenges at work. And there are really so many reasons why we can be grateful. So again, be grateful for the work that we have, na sa lahat ng mga tao, we still have a job, we still have a work, and also be grateful for the provision that it brings, that it allows us not just to provide for ourselves, but also to be a blessing to other people, and also be grateful for the experiences, for the challenges, because it allowed us, it shaped us, it molded us to be a stronger person. And I remember a statement, and if I remember it correctly, this is Friedrich Nietzsche. It's whatever doesn't kill you will only make you stronger. So whatever experiences that you have, it's just building you up. It's helping you. It's sharpening you. So let's be grateful. So that's letter B. Be grateful. Be grateful with your work, or be grateful because you have work. Be grateful because you have provision, and be grateful for the experiences. And letter O. Letter O is open to opportunities. Be open to opportunities. Dapat open-minded tayo. Open-minded ka ba? Open-minded ka ba? So we need to be open to different opportunities. And we have 3 sub-points again for open to opportunities. First is open to serve. And I want to emphasize this as well, open to serve, because there will come a time wherein maybe because of us being competent, because of us being tenured or na-promote na tayo, we are already the boss, the directors, or maybe we have our own company, our mentality, serban nyo ako, bigyan nyo ako ng kape. I hope that our mentality is an opportunity how I can serve, how I can help. Especially pagka tumataas ka na in rank, tumataas ka na in tenure, we should always find ways on how we can serve, how we can help. That should be our mentality. And di ba, in a business sense, the reason why we are doing business is not just to earn, but really because we are providing solutions, we are helping people, we are doing things so that it could be easier. We need to be open in serving people, and there are a lot of ways, especially in this enhanced community quarantine, where we can serve people, whether we can serve them with our time, with our talent, with our money, with whatever knowledge that we have. Kat Dalusong, dami ko na-realize today, oh, thank you So Kat, mamaya, or maybe right now, you can put your learnings as well. So let's be open to serve. Open to serve. Sana hindi tayo maging mayabang, and we need to remember, pride goes before destruction, humility comes before honor. So serve lang tayo ng serve, and we don't want na pagkaharap natin yung mga colleagues natin parang babay, tas biglang tumalikod tayo, ibabakbay tayo. Please, sana hindi tayo maging mayabang. Let's continuously be of service, no matter our tenure, no matter how much money we have. Let's just be open to serve. Open to serve. Open to serve. That's the first subpoint for open to opportunities. The second subpoint, which I also want to emphasize, is to be open to receive feedback. Open to receive feedback. Sino dito gusto nyo humingi ng feedback? Na you're the person who is actively seeking feedback. Ako, I so love asking feedback. Kaya maybe if you notice, kung nagkausap tayo minsan, tinatanong, oh, how can I improve? How can I do better? What can we do to level this up? So we need to be open for feedback, because hindi naman tayo perfect eh. Magulat tayo if no one is giving us feedback, because hindi naman tayo perfect. So it just means that we are not opening our lives to people to give us feedback. So let's be open to feedback. And sometimes you are in a situation that the culture is not for you giving feedback. So please do seek feedback. Kasi hindi naman tayo perfect. And our goal is to achieve the greatness that we have, and we won't get it on our own. We need the perspective of people. We need the correction of people. Although again, sometimes masakit mabigyan ng feedback and correction, pero that's part of it. That's part of the process. That's part of the grind we need to embrace. And feedback, I think that's a different video in itself. We can create a different video for that. But again, we need to understand feedback is a gift. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. Feedback is something that would help us to be of value, not just for us to hitting our target, but also to be a blessing to people. So let's be open to receive feedback. Open to receive feedback. And the third subpoint in terms of open for opportunities, the third subpoint is to be open to explore. Okay, open to explore, because you are the person who is competent, learning, receiving feedback, adjusting yourself, adjusting your skills to be better. So please be open to explore. And I'm for, in terms of staying long in the company, okay yan. Gusto ko tumagal sa company, to be loyal. Although there are some school of thought that's the illusion of loyalty. Pero that's a different topic in itself. But for me, kumbaga, if you are in that season, nandiyan ka sa work, stay as long as you can. But there will be times that there will be a change of season. Maybe it's already time to shift careers. Maybe you see, if you stay longer in the company, there will be no more growth. So maybe it's time to explore possibilities. Open to be explored by other HR companies. So, just a basic tip. So, please update your LinkedIn. Nag-LinkedIn ba kayo? Please do have an updated LinkedIn. Not that you will just update the LinkedIn because you are looking for work na, but even while you are already just doing your best and not yet open for a new work, just update it lang. And then magugulat ka na lang, there will be offers that you can't refuse. And I agree, sabi ni RJ, pumili ka ng tao na magbibigay sa'yo ng feedback, because we need to understand, yes, it's good that you have feedback. Pero kasi minsan yung mga tao, when they give feedback, puro, good job bro, come on bro, you're doing good bro, keep up the good work. Di ba may ganyan tayo eh. But I hope, okay yun, we appreciate them, but I hope that we should also look for people who would give technical feedback, who would give you a level up, who would give specific things so that you could level up. Hindi lang puro mga good job bro, good job, but you would look for people who would allow you to level up. Look for a coach, look for a mentor. So just be open for feedback. Let's be open for possibilities. So again, update your LinkedIn, not because you need to transfer na, just continue to just update, and magugulat ka na lang, there will be offers that you can't refuse. And if you want to decide on it, and maybe you're thinking, magre-resign na ba ako, or will I get this offer, maybe I can share another video about that in terms of decision making. But of course, when we choose work, it's not just about the compensation, it's not just about the things that we do, but we also need to consider how it fits to the plans of God in our lives. Because again, God created us for a great purpose, and I hope that when we plan, it's not just because of our objectivity, which is good, but I hope we also hear from God, kasi He wants the best for us. So we should also hear from Him what's best for us in the season. Although, ayusin ko lang ang aking bini, because there are times that the problem is not because there's no offers. Sometimes the problem is there are so many offers, and among those offers, ano yung best sa atin? So I hope that we seek mentoring from friends, but also we get to hear from God what's best for us. So yun yung sa open to opportunities, open for feedback, open for opportunities to explore, and also open to serve. And then, ready na ba kayo? Letter R. Letter R is respect begets respect. I'll repeat. Respect begets respect. Ibig sabihin ng respect begets respect. So if you want to be respected, then respect them. If you treat people with respect, there's a possibility that they will respect you. I remember a wise saying that do unto others if you want others do it unto you. Parang ganon. So respect begets respect. So respect people for who they are, what they do. But even if they don't respect you, or even if you have respected them and they haven't reciprocated that respect, okay lang. Don't change the way how you respect them. It doesn't mean that they don't respect you. You need to change at babastusin mo na. No. Respect to everyone, regardless of status, regardless of work. For us to put a framework in respect begets framework, first is respect others' time. Okay? That's the first sub-point for respect begets respect. Respect others' time, especially in our world where we are in a corporate world, professional world. I hope that we respect others' time. That pagka may meeting, wag sana tayo late. And sometimes what we do, we are on time, and okay yan. But I hope that we have buffer, because if you are on time, you are late. So we need to be earlier. So we need to respect their time, and also be professional, yung work ethics natin. So Mel, respect others is one of the golden rules to have a peaceful workplace. So to yun. So when you respect one another. So, di ba, professionalism. What are the work ethics that you learned when growing up, or at least in your first work, that help you? You can comment it below. Kasi, di ba, we need to respect our boss, we need to respect their time. Pagka may meeting, eto, guilty rin ako sometimes, wag sana tayo mag-check ng cellphone. Although, case to case yan. Depende sa meeting. Pero as much as possible, ideally, let's be focused. Diba? Respect them. Also, respect their input, respect their opinion. Sometimes kasi feeling matalino tayo lagi, feeling we have a corner of truth, and yung feedback natin lagi tama. No, that's not true. We need to respect their opinions. And dun magkakaroon ng discussion, healthy conflict. So I think yung healthy conflict, that's something that we can discuss in a different video, but I hope that we also respect their time, respect what they do. So that's the first subpoint. Respect their time, because time is golden. The second subpoint is respect others' work. So yung context naman ng respect others' work is, ito na yung sinasabi ko earlier, that regardless of what kind of work, there is dignity in that work. Whether if that person is working as a director, a CEO, a business person, or if that person is mopping the floors or cleaning something, pare-pareho lang yan, may dignity. And I want to emphasize that, because sometimes yung tingin natin, ay, parang ang galing ko na, I have arrived, kasi eto na yung position ko eh. And sometimes what we see, tinitingnan natin yung mga ibang tao, feeling natin maliit eh. I hope that we should not be that people. I hope that we would be people who would say to them na pare-pareho tayo, may dignidad sa trabaho. And if you are that person, sometimes maybe you are embarrassed with what you do because of the type of work that you have, or maybe because feeling mo meager lang yung nakukuha mong sweldo. Do not be embarrassed by it. May dignity sa ginagawa mo, because especially assuming naman na hindi illegal yan, no? There's dignity in what you do. So whatever work, and I want to pound this, we need to put it to heart that kahit anong trabaho, may dignidad yan. Pare-parehong valuable yan. Pare-pareho tayong mahal ng Diyos. Wala sa type ng trabaho yan, wala sa kotse na dinadrive yan. It's not about the cellphones, but I hope that when we see people, it's not just we treat them better or we treat them as no, but I hope we see them as someone na may dignidad din sa trabaho. I hope you get the heart of what we said there when we respect others' work. Kahit anong trabaho nila, may dignidad yan. So, treat them with respect and love. So, yun yung second subpoint for respect begets respect. And then, ito, yung C. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. Meaning, because you have put in the work, high performance behavior, you've put in so much time, I hope that you take the time to respect yourself. And one of the ways where you can respect yourself is you take your break, you take your rest. And now we are in an enhanced community quarantine. Somehow, we are not commuting, mas may rest tayo. But I hope, pagka na-lift na yung enhanced community quarantine, we take the time to rest. We should respect ourselves. Kasi we need to recuperate. And like what we've talked about in terms of yung focus last time, that there should be scheduled breaks. Di ba yung Pomodoro technique, that hindi puro work. Kasi eventually, tuloy-tuloy na yan, eventually we will crash. Magka-crash landing tayo. So, we need to respect ourselves. We need to take the time to take a break, to relax. And ito in terms of work, in terms of rest for me is not just about physically doing nothing. Because, di ba ngayon, we are at our homes. We're not commuting. We're not stressed because sa EDSA traffic. But somehow, bakit ganun? Parang stressed pa rin ako. Parang hindi ako relaxed. Because for me, rest is not just physically doing nothing. But I believe true rest comes from being in the presence of God. Sa akin lang yun I mean, I'm not imposing this. Because, di ba, even in this enhanced community quarantine, nakaupo lang tayo, nakahiga tayo, pero parang tayo. We need to understand this, that rest comes from the presence of God. Even in the midst of a lot of things happening, even in the midst of all uncertainties, diba, iba yung rest coming from God Rest that money cannot buy, the rest that gives us the peace, rest that gives us the tranquility. And if you want to learn more about that, maybe we can have another video for that. Or if you want to learn more about the rest coming from God, you can message me and I can connect you to people. That's the sub point for it. So as we wrap this all up, I hope you learn something, because we asked the question earlier, how can I get the most out of my work? Because that's a rooftop reflection for today. And just a recap in the acrostic that we did in labor. We need to understand, diba? Labor, love what you do. A, adapt to changes. B, be grateful. O, open to opportunities. And R, respect begets respect. There's so much we can learn there. And as we talk about, isa-isayin natin, for those people who are just joining in, a recap for all of us, when we talk about love what you do, is to love the grind, to love the process, to love the discipline, to love the right habits. But at the same time, we need to also love the learning, because we need to constantly level up ourselves, and also at the same time love the people. So that's love what you do. Ang A naman is to adapt to changes. We all know that everything in this world, or the constant thing in this world, is change. So we need to adapt to new challenges, we need to adapt to new work environments, and we need to adapt to new leadership styles, or to a new boss. So that's A. And then B, be grateful. Be grateful for the work that you have, because sa dami ng walang work ngayon, di ba? You have work, and that's a blessing in itself. So be grateful for the work that you have. Be grateful for the provision that you get, and also be grateful for the experience that you get. So because whether in good times, in bad boss, in good boss, it's shaping you for who you are. So that's B. And O, be open for opportunities. So be open to serve as much as you can, and regardless of our status in our work, regardless of our position, I hope that we have that disposition of serving, not to be entitled, but to serve. So open to serve And then second is to be open to receive feedback, because feedback is a gift. We are not perfect, so that we can just grow and be better. And then lastly is to be open to explore, because there will be times that our season is up. There will be times wherein we need to pivot, or maybe we have already utilized, optimized, there's no more room for growth, and just be open to explore. So that's O. And then R is respect begets respect. So respect others' time, let's be professional, work ethics. And then the second sub point, respect others' work, that kahit anong trabaho nila, may dignidad yan. Let us not belittle them, let's appreciate them. But also, yung sub point sa huli, yung sa R, is respect yourself. And one of the ways we can respect ourselves is taking the time to have a break and have a rest. So that's our rooftop reflections on how we can get the most out of our work. So thank you for joining. Thank you for celebrating with me Labor Day. To all the workforce, to all the laborers, mabuhay kayo. Salamat sa inyong mga sakripisyo. Thank you for doing what you are doing. Thank you guys for joining our rooftop reflections. Okay guys, so I hope you learned something. Mabuhay ang mga manggagawa. Salamat sa pag-join sa akin. What are your takeaways? What have you learned in this Labor Day special? What have you learned in this rooftop reflections? Yung sa letter L ba? Loving what you do? Or yung sa A, adapt to change, or B, be grateful, or yung O, open to opportunities, or R, respect begets respect. So A and kanyang, true happiness comes from within. Happiness will radiate from the inside out. And yes, and the thing with happiness, maybe we can talk about that. The difference between happiness and joy, happiness is based on happenings, external. But what's good is that we will have joy that comes from within, that regardless of what's happening externally, okay tayo. Okay, so that's joy. And joy comes from God. So guys, what have you learned in this rooftop reflection May 1 Labor Day special? So what have you learned? Comment in below. So any questions or maybe clarifications, I hope whatever I've shared here, it brought some clarity. So just comment in below, again, the things that you have learned, whatever takeaways. If you have any clarifications, if you need any help, you can message me. I can connect you to people who can help you as well. If you need help, especially in this enhanced community quarantine, you are not alone, but we are in this together. So, and ngayon medyo padilim na, and kailangan ko nang pumunta sa aking hashtag look up, it's 6 o'clock, so that I can still catch the sunset. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. If you need any questions, or if you have any questions, just let me know. God bless you guys. Thank you.